Hello guys, this is going to be a review that was requested by you guys. This is the review of the Caterpillar Northscott 938K and 930K wheel loaders. The reason I'm reviewing them together is because they are the same basic thing, just the back decals are different. It's nice to see that they have a new edition of the 924G, but yet the functionality of it isn't the best. And you will know what I'm saying when I get into it. It retails for about 50, 60 bucks, if I'm not mistaken, within that range. Um, but I'll get to my final opinions after it. So let's get into the review. I'm going to be reviewing them. The 938K will have the bucket. The 930 will have the pallet forks. Each one of them has their own has the same attachments. So there you go. So with the 938, as you can see, it is pretty plain because this is the only real decal on the body of it, and that's because of the new series of loaders, and I'm just not a big fan of it. So starting out at front, the functionality of it, your boom or your lift arms will go that high. Not the best, and believe it or not, that's as far as it will dump. It will not dump anymore, which is very, very pathetic in my mind. It will not dump any further unless you really give it a shot and almost break the quick coupler, which is very possible because it is made of a very flimsy plastic. But it will dump that far, but it may just slide out. But the cylinder is very stiff, so really, at first, only you'll get to go back to the standard, which is right there, unless you really push it at it and risk breaking the quick coupler. So anyways, you have this typical Z-bar linkage, which is pretty decent, and as I mentioned, the quick coupler, I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. It has the two hooks and it has this little plastic latch, which is very flimsy, and I feel like every time I'm going to put the bucket on, it's going to snap off. The bucket itself is flat black, and it does have the imprint where Cat logo would go. And there you can see some pretty good bolt detail, and then there's the blade. And up here you have a guard, which is plastic again. So yes. Now the coupler on the machine is actually a metal part, which is surprising. I was kind of surprised at that for sure. But like I said, the cylinders are stiff. All you have to do to really put the bucket on is just go like that. Snap it on. I think it is a good color change though, but as you can see, the bucket is loose. And that's why I would prefer the 924G coupler system, or even the Tonkin system where you have to manually put a pin in and take it out. Here's what the bucket looks like curled down or put down, and there you can see the plastic lights, which are reflective, which is pretty decent. And you can even see a good view of the cab, which is pretty good, pretty detailed, I would say. And there you have a small little Cat logo and the windshield wiper, which unfortunately does not move, like we have seen from other loader models. Here you can see more reflective lights. Going on to this side, a little box so you can access up this way. And the fenders by the front wheels are plastic. But if you do notice on the wheels, you see little reflective silver bolts, which is a pretty nice detail from Northscott. And the articulation of the model, it will go that far and then that far. So it's actually on cylinders. It's not loose like the 924 would be flapping everywhere, if you know what I mean. Going to the back, you do have a vent which is actually decaled on. And you have Cat 938K. And back here, you'd have your rear bumper with some pretty nice lights. I'd say the red is a very good addition. Well, the color of red, and then two more lights up here in the Cat, and the grill, which is plastic, which again we'd expect from Northscott. Here is the exhaust, and then there is the air cleaner. Here, it's nice that they actually added a beacon though, but it is a very soft plastic, so you gotta be careful. And then two mirrors, which are painted to be reflective. or give the effect of being reflective. A plastic ladder on the side and 2 handrails to get into the cab. As I mentioned, the cab has pretty good details on it, including a seat, steering wheel, some armrests, and possibly a cup holder. And over here you have an orange reflector, which isn't a big surprise. But it's pretty nice that they had a little handle where the where you would open up the engine compartment. You'd have to excuse me. I just woke up and realized I had to do this review. So it's a pretty basic model. Oh, and up top it is plastic, but it does have some good details on it. Now then, for the 930, it's the same thing as I just went over, just with the forks. I'd say the forks are. I'm not the biggest fan of the forks. I did like the idea of forks, but not really now. They are adjustable though, which is nice, and they are metal, and you can flap them back like that. I don't see why you would, but you can. So you can adjust them all the way in or spread them all the way out. And for an example that I have with my telehandler, you want to move a very, very small pallet like this, and it just doesn't want to move. There you go. You can move a very small pallet. Again, it comes with a bucket and forks for each machine, so no real difference. So yeah, overall I'd give this maybe a 6 out of 10. The detailing is not the best. There's not even a hydraulic line on this model, which is a big letdown because, I mean, you'd think modeled hydraulic lines would be a standard on models nowadays, but apparently not. Really, I'd say this is an Ertl quality model. I'm just going to keep it real. The quick coupler, I'm not a fan of. You definitely don't get what you pay for on this one. I'd say it'd be worth maybe like 30 bucks. I think that'd be the perfect price for this. But of course, Norscot had to be terrible people and raise the prices on all their models. So now we're stuck paying the price if you want a Power Edge small size loader or medium size or whatever. I guess if you want to do diodes, you could probably use a 924G. I would not use this model personally. It's not the best. I think it's really more of a display model and displaying it like this, but Norscot could have done a way better job, especially on the functions part of it, especially with the dump on the bucket. That's probably the biggest downfall there is the bucket and the quick coupler. So I'd give it a 6 out of 10. There's some good details on it, decent ones. The functionality is not the best, but it's okay. It's nice that they actually painted the rivets on it. And yeah, so if it would be worth maybe 30 bucks, I would be fine with the price. And I'd be fine with getting these. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah, have a nice day. Peace out.